Starting. Let's do this core class. Join me. My name is Dara. We have 30 minutes of core strength yoga. I'm a physical therapist. I'm also a strength coach. I'm also an endurance athlete. Join this class. This is for all levels. You do not need to be advanced yogi. We're going to start off in standing. Grab a weight if you want to add weights. That is optional to the core and the glutes. We're going to start off in standing with a nice little yoga warm-up. And then we're going to take it down onto the mat. We've got 3 moves today for our power series: core, abs, glutes, all that good stuff. Modify as needed. Again, listen to your body. I will try and show different levels, beginner through advanced. Let's start off with a little bit of a standing yoga sequence just to warm up and get our body moving. Reach to the sky. Take a nice long inhale. Again, just kind of getting some nice movement going first before we take it down onto the mat and get into that core strength series. We'll finish with some stretching and be done in 30 minutes. Exhale, forward fold. Hang out here. Knees are nice and soft. Just shake it out. Just getting the body nice and warmed up. If you want to check other classes, you can go under my core class playlist for some other classes, some other ideas. Hold it here. One more breath. On your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back, straighten the knees out. This is your hip hinge, your deadlift. Straighten the knees, get a nice little hamstring stretch. Hold it here for one breath. Hands come down, step back into plank. We have planks and we have push-ups today too. Everyone's favorite. Tuck the chin in, push your arms away from the mat. So don't sink pushing away. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Hold it here for one breath. Knees down, slowly lower chaturanga. I always make fun of my endurance athletes. We need to get more upper body strength, right? So we're going to do some push-ups today. Not too many. Come up into this nice little baby cobra stretch. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. Engage your lats. Open up the chest. Hold it here for one breath. Exhale back down. Uncurl your toes. Push yourself back. Downward facing dog. This should feel great on your calf, on your ankles, on your hamstrings, on the whole backside of your body. One of my favorite stretches, getting into those back of the legs, calf, ankle, pedal the feet out. Let's do that whole series again. We're gonna do that 2 more times and then we're moving on. Last breath here, driving the hips up nice and high. Walk your hands back to your feet, rolling up slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Articulate through your spine, really move. Inhale, reach to the sky. Round 2, yoga is for everyone, right? Exhale, forward fold. I like to use this as a nice way to warm up, a nice mobility sequence. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, hold it here. Straighten out the knees if you want more of that hamstring stretch. Bring your hands down, step back into plank number 2. Nice shoulder core strengthening. Hold it here, 1 breath. Exhale, either knees down or all the way down, chaturanga. Challenge yourself. We've only got 30 minutes. Let's make it count. Inhale, cobra stretch or up dog. If you want to come all the way up, if this feels good, pull those shoulder blades down your back. Engage your lats. Open your chest. Maybe move side to side. Hold it here. We've got 1 more round just like this. Then we're moving on. Exhale, back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Pedal the feet, stretch out the calf and the ankles. If you're a runner, cyclist, or just a human, your calves are probably tight. That's many of us, myself included. Walk your hands back to your feet. Let's go through our last flow. Nice and easy, rolling up slowly. Head coming up last. Move through your whole spine, supple spine, right? We need nice mobility in our joints. Inhale, reach. Last time, you guys. Exhale, forward fold. We've got a lot to cover. Inhale, halfway lift. Moving on, get that nice hamstring stretch. Bring your hands down, come back into plank. Hold it here. 1 breath. Exhale, lower chaturanga, however you need to. Uncurl your toes, cobra stretch. Enjoy this. This should feel nice, not pinchy on the lower back. Engage your lats. Pull the shoulder blades down. 1 breath here. Getting ready. Moving on. We do have push-ups. and planks. Come back into downward facing dog. Let's do a little bit of a downward dog into plank first. Get those wrists and shoulders warmed up. Widen your stance. So come into a long down dog. Let your heels just drop. First, just enjoy this stretch. It's a nice active pose, but it's also a great way to stretch out your hamstrings, your calf, your ankles. Hang out here for one breath. If you're like me, your calves are tight, your heels are not going to touch the ground. That's okay. That's why we're doing this. Hang out one last breath here, and then I want you to rock forward into your plank. So I'm not way far in front, I'm really just stacked. So that's why we want that nice, long down dog position, and then exhale back. And then rock it forward, and then exhale back. Just go back and forth a couple times here. And then we're gonna come into standing and do a little bit of planks. Last little bit of planks we have for today is coming up next. Roll the shoulders and the wrists out. Let's do 2 more just like this, and then we're gonna walk our hands back to our feet. One more time. Exhale. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Come to the back of your mat. Rolling up slowly, head coming up last. So we are gonna use our weights for a little bit of a chair pose squat. But first, let's just walk ourselves out into plank. So take a nice wide stance. The reason why I'm doing this first is because it's gonna help us warm up those hips, get nice and deep into the hips. So give yourself a nice wide stance here, the width of your mat or wider, right? That will allow you to sink nice and low without rounding your back. So I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna walk out into my plank. Now I did say we have push-ups today, so if you want, add a push-up at the end, optional. Walk your hands back. Come all the way to standing, reach high to the sky, and then walk it out. Notice my flat back. I come into my plank. I either stop here or maybe I add a push-up. Bent knee push-up is fine. Maybe you try one. Let me say try one. Humor me. I always make fun of my cyclists and my runners because they can't do push-ups. But you know what? The only way you get better at push-ups is by doing push-ups, right? Take this at your own pace. Again, if you just want to walk it out and you're like, Dara, I hate push-ups, you're annoying me, that's okay too. This is just a nice way to get into the hips, sink nice and deep, deep squat here. Again, we're trying to maintain this nice flat back position when I'm here. That's why I'm giving you that wide stance. One more time and then we're moving on. That's it for this little inchworm plank, maybe one more push-up, maybe. All right, done with that. Shake it out, shake the wrists out. So chair pose is basically our air squat. If you have weights and you want to add them, now is your chance. If you have a mini band, you can also do mini bands around the thighs. That is always an option. You don't need them, but you can have them. If you have one weight, I suggest goblet squat, meaning my weight is close to my chest. Biggest thing I notice is people have the weights here. Nope, they need to be here. Squeeze those shoulder blades back, right? Just as I cued you earlier, pull the shoulder blades back. Engage your lats as you sink into your squat. So if you have one weight, I like it here. You can always have weights at your side if you have 2. And if you have none, that's okay. Or if you just have mini bands around the thighs. If you don't have any weights, I want you to bring the arms overhead. Find this nice flat back position and tap your hands down. Right, so my chair pose, to start now, with whichever version you are doing, I want to think about drawing the arches up. That's going to help to pull my knees out. That's going to engage my glutes. This is glute, right? This is your chair pose. Back is flat, abs are braced. I like to say flat back, but it's really neutral spine. So we're still moving. Keep going. Again, if you don't have the weights and you want to just do this active dynamic little chair pose, again, the cueing is the same. This is our back squat. I'm sitting back into my heels, but if you notice, my entire foot is planted. Firm support. Let's do a few more, right? If you have your weights. Again, I'm still maintaining this nice, strong upper body, engaged back here or here. Keep that weight close to your chest if you're doing it here. Let's do 4 more. whichever version you want. 3 more. 2. And last one. Done with that. All right, beautiful. Put the weights to the sides for now. Let's come down onto the mat. Let's finish with our warm-up, and then we're gonna get into our core series. We have a seated Russian twist. We do have some obliques. We do have some advanced holds. I will show you all of that next. We've got 3 moves for our core series today. Let's finish with a nice little easy cat-cow. Russian twist, your seated twist, you can grab weights for that. You don't need them. That is optional. Always optional to add weights into class. Nice and easy cat-cow here. Just get that back nice and supple. Move through all those sticky spots. Make sure the entire spine is moving. Really getting into the entire spine from head to toe. Let's do our last few here, and then we've got a series of 3 moves coming up. Starting off in seated. And we've got some lower abdominal work, a little bit of this, a little bit of that today. Last time here with our cat-cow. And then you're gonna come into seated Russian twist. Again, I really want you to focus on this seated position, nice flat back, strong, engaged abs here. If this does not feel good on your back doing these, then come onto your back and do some bicycle crunches instead. Again, we're working obliques, this first move. So I really like to have people start here, reach, pull back, engage the back. I'm not here. I'm here for my Russian twist. Again, if you don't have weights and you just want to challenge your balance and your core, elevate the legs up, right? That's your other option. If you want to challenge yourself with the weights, then add them in. So let's start with this first move. This is our Russian twist, our V twist. Again, if your back does not like this, first of all, brace your abs. That's number 1, right? Maintain that strong core, right? We want to be really active, engaged with these. So if this still doesn't feel good on your lower back, again, my PT advice, take it onto the mat on your back and do some bicycle crunches or something alternative to this. This is a loaded position. We really don't have any support for our lower back. So you really need to have a strong back to maintain this. The goal of these exercises is not to make you feel worse at the end, right? We don't want our lower back feeling cranky at the end. We want to feel strong, resilient, like we worked our core in a good way. That should be the goal always. So again, your V twist, your Russian twist, I would suggest really go into some nice rotation, right? So don't just do little baby crunch here. Really focus on some nice upper back mobility. Twist, twist. So we've got a long set. We've got 3 rounds. 3 rounds, 3 moves. A little bit of this, a little bit of that today. So we're starting off with obliques. Then we have some lower abdominal work. Again, I will show options. These are advanced. Making this easier, you would take out the weights, or you can elevate the legs up, adding some balance here. Let's finish this move up, and then we're going to be on our back for our next move in 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the weights. Again, you don't need the weights. That is optional. On your back, legs are going to flutter down and up. Again, you need to have the core, that lower back pressed down. So brace with your abs as your legs are lowering. And then back up. I'm going to show you some options. So I like to have hands at sides. Now, if this is really starting to pull on your lower back, don't go as low. So I always suggest start maybe halfway. Really maintaining that lower back needs to stay pressed down the whole time. If you're not sure, one other cue that I do a lot in my class, you'll notice, is I always say try to lift the head up, right? Because if you lift that head up, that's going to help reinforce that lower back being pressed down, because it's going to help you connect and pull that rib cage down. So for this one, again, this is a long set. This is challenging. The lower you go, the harder it is here. So you need to challenge yourself, but really still maintain this really optimal position. My lower back, when I say it's pressed down, I literally mean there's not even like a millimeter of space in that lower back crease. So you really need to engage here. That's why this is kind of an advanced move. And again, if you're kind of losing it by the end, don't go as low. I always tell people, I'd rather you do 5 correctly with good form, even if it's level 1, versus doing a million, and then you're straining your lower back, you're hurting your back, or you're just doing it incorrectly. Again, arms can be at your sides, heads can be lifted. Let's do a few more here. And then we're gonna go into a reverse crunch. A lot of lower abdominal work today, sorry guys. One more time. And then feet come down. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. You have some options with this next move. This is a reverse crunch, bringing that butt off of the mat. You can also add that upper. So it's gonna be here, elbow to knees. If you just wanna do this, you can also just do this reverse crunch. If you just wanna do regular crunch, you can do that as well. If you wanna do both, do both. Again, exhale as you lift. That's our last move here. Then we come back into our Russian twist. Exhale. Exhale, crunch. This is a tiny move, but it should hurt. So good. On the exhale, right? If you're just doing lower abdominals, exhale, lifting that butt off the floor. Exhale, lift. Lift. I always suggest with these classes, if you check out any of my other core classes under that core class playlist, kind of mix and match, right? So we want to do some static work, some holds, we want to do some dynamic stuff, we want to do some obliques, some upper body, lower body, glutes. All of that is part of your core stability and strength. Exhale. We have 3 rounds, so this got 3 moves, 3 rounds. We're going to come back in to that Russian twist. Let's do a few more here. Exhale, lift. Exhale. 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. Coming up into seated. Try not to drop my weights again. Russian twist, again, optional. We're not taking breaks. We've got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. Come back in. I really want to lock in that position first, right? So I really want to be sitting up nice and tall, bracing with my abs, opening up the chest, and then adding in a nice rotation. Again, the rotation, weights or not, up to you. I always say, if you've got a chance to add in a little bit more upper body work or a little bit more weights to your core, please do so, right? It's a nice way to just sneak in a little bit of upper body strength, a little bit of weights. Good for everybody. So this is round 2. We've got 3 rounds of 3, and then we're gonna stretch, cool it down, and be done with class in 30 minutes. Subscribe to the class, subscribe to my playlist if you wanna check out other classes, other core workouts. I have some smaller, shorter core workouts as well under my core class playlist. Let's do a few more here, and then we're gonna come back onto our back for that leg fluttering. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Let me carefully drop the weights. Come onto your back. Legs lower. Again, lower abdominals. Brace. Exhale. Press the lower back down. Engage. Lock it in here. Arms can be at your sides. You decide how low you want to go. Again, I always say, maybe just a few with the head up. That elevated head position will kind of just help to reinforce that lower back. Again, don't forget, I have to remind myself, oh, keep that lower back pressed down, right? And you're spacing out, and there's a little bit of that space there. And that's where you get a lot of that strain on that lower back, right? As the legs get away from you, the weight of your leg starting to lift that lower back up, press it down. That's abs, right? That's your abs. So kick, back up. Again, you decide how low you're gonna go. Or if you just wanna go to here, you're like, oh, that's about it. Starting to lose my form, then that's it, right? Don't be a hero, do this correctly. Let's do a few more here, and then we have that reverse crunch. Let's do 2 more. Lower the legs. And breathe, right? 1 more. Again, that's the challenge. Can we breathe underneath those abs? Working feet down. Let the knees go side to side. So we have our reverse crunch, our last move here. Again, you can do just the reverse crunch. You can just that upper crunch. It is up to you, whatever. If you want to do elbows to knees and both, that is the full move. You decide. Exhale, really focus on that. Exhale, really squeeze. Exhale, lift. Lift. That is your deeper abdominals. That is your pelvic floor. That is your breath. Exhale, lift, pull, everything up, connect, right? You're really trying to connect from here to here. It's a nice move, right? Even that crunch should help you get a little bit of that engagement in that front body, connecting rib cage to pelvis, right? So that's kind of one of those main things that we're thinking about, is kind of drawing everything in, using the breath. Exhale. Exhale. Let's do a few more, and then we have our last round. Last round here. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Sitting up. Let's do a last little speed round, and then we got to get into some stretches, y'all. Last round, speed. Speeding through our last core series. Again, speed does not mean we lose our form, right? So it's nice to play with tempo as well. So we can add a little bit of speed, we can slow things down, changing the tempo, but we still want to optimize our form and still maintain this nice, good form for all of our exercises. Last few here, we've got our last little version of our little leg lowering, however you want to do it. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Bring that weight down. We are done with that. Legs lower. Lock it in first. Form first. Press the lower back down on that exhale. Legs come up. Arms can be at your sides. Lower. Back up. Head up if you want for a few. We don't have that many. We're almost done. Finish up strong. Right? Your first set and your last set should look the same. Nice and controlled. Kick, 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 kick. Couple more. Keeping that lower back pressed down. That rib cage is down. My abs are engaged. This should be challenging. 3 more. Speed it up. 2 more. 1 more. Not taking a break. Bring the feet down. Lock yourself in. Reverse crunch. Let's get it done so we could stretch. Exhale. Whichever version you're doing, you decide. Don't lose that breath. And lift. Exhale. Exhale for 10. 9. 8. 7. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more, last one. Feet down, rock the knees side to side. Let's stretch. Let's get into our cool down sequence. Every class is different. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of lower back. Sometimes I'll do a little bit more glutes. Let's just stretch a little bit today. Hug the knees into your chest. Give them a good squeeze. Start to slow down the breath. Rock the knees side to side. Give your lower back a nice little massage here. Anything that feels good, any other stretches that you like, now is your chance to add them in. Again, this class is for you. I am just your guide. Modify as needed, please. Let that left leg extend long on the mat. Shake it out. Let's slow down the breath. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale it out through the mouth. Let's make some circles with that right hip. Just moving that hip around. Again, I have other classes, other workouts. Subscribe to the channel. You can see some of my other core classes, some of my other lower body workouts, full body workouts, dumbbells, kettlebells. Try to keep it pretty simple, just consistency to get results, right? Left hand, bring that right knee across your body. Nice little hip stretch, lower back. Again, if you want to get more into the lower back, let that lower back rotate off the mat a little bit, right? If you just want hip, you can kind of keep it here, more lower back here. A little bit more of a twist. Open that right arm out. Stretching out that chest and shoulder. Keep the head nice and relaxed. Shake it out. Release any tension. Just let it all go. Focus on that nice breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. One more breath here. Come back to center, figure four stretch. Nice hip opener. You can keep it here. You can reach through for thread the needle if that feels good. Right, nice deep hip opener. Again, any other stretches that feel good, now is your chance to add them in. Checking in with our body, seeing where everything's feeling. Release any tension in the neck, shoulders. Roll the shoulders out. Just release any tension. Last breaths here. And then we'll switch sides. You're almost done with class for today. And then unwrap that right leg when you're ready. Shake that right leg out. Release any tension. Roll it out. Roll that left hip around. Just getting into that nice hip, getting some mobility, right? Strength and mobility. We need both as athletes and just as humans. We need those joints to be nice and supple. We need those muscles to be nice and strong. Bring that knee across your body. Find that position that feels like a good stretch for that hip, for that lower back. Open that left arm out. 45-degree angle. Getting a nice stretch through the rib cage, chest, shoulders. Breathe into that left side. Inhale through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth. Slow down the breath. Almost done here. And then come back to center, figure four stretch on the left side. Again, thread the needle or figure four, whatever feels better to you, reaching through. If you want that deeper stretch. Almost done. Roll the shoulders out. Release any tension. Last breath here. Wrapping up class. We'll finish in seated with our last seated stretch. Unwrap that left leg, both feet onto the floor. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. Nice and easy, mellow. Roll onto your side, come into seated. Let's finish off in seated, and then we are done for class for today. Sitting however you want. You don't need to sit cross-legged. Whatever is comfortable for you. Sitting up nice and tall. Finish with this nice tall spine. We started off class with this nice tall spine position. Let's do the same thing again. Elongate, lengthen. Exhale it out one more time, and then that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. Subscribe to the channel. I will post the replays after. Inhale. I hope you got something out of class. Exhale it out. That is it for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. I will see you next time. Live streaming class every week. See you next time, guys.